so that Monica can catch this. I'm also going to meet with her separately this week. So yeah, we have that as well. So today my goal was for us to get as close as we can to launching this campaign. The main focus is going to be creating a few more ads, so that we have 5 ads that we can compare across 3 audiences. So I don't know if you saw that email. I noticed at the end that I forgot the video to the link or the link to the video where I uploaded how to upload a lookalike audience. But right now I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, so you got our subscriber list from Alan.
Yep.
And you created a lookalike list to that?
Yes. Yeah.
Does it matter that our lookalike list was, like 350 people versus 20? Is more better?
More is better. I think we actually ended up with a list of 580 or something like that. So more is better, but relevance trumps all. Relevance is the best. So I know you have a bunch of lists and you have a ton of subscribers overall, but we opted for a more specific list of the people specifically who are on the Jane Logic list.
Yeah. So 580, Alan, you're helping your sales numbers there. So how come we have 580? Is it multiple? One account might have multiple email subscribers?
Yeah, these are the Jane Logic customers, the 580 list.
Okay.
Yeah, and yes, they can have multiple accounts, can have multiple users. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I've always thought of it being like 350, but yeah, some have multiple. So that's great.
Cool. So yeah, we have last week we created this interests and job titles, farming and irrigation, specifically people with almond, grape, pistachio, vineyard, and vineyard interests. So we're thinking we're zeroing down on these people where water is really relevant. And then the other thing is this Jane Logic lookalike, which we just created. And I did this at 3%, because that is what's working really well right now, 2 to 3 on Facebook. And of course, if you have a smaller audience, you might have to go wider, but I figured we'd start at 3. And if we need to, we can always change that. So our big focus today will be to create these ads. And so when we think about these audiences and what we want to do in this funnel by pushing people into AgriLogics, we want them to see an ad and then go to either this blog post, and we're going to measure the people who have, who really read it, or last week, Alan and I got together and we created a new landing page specifically for AgriLogics and for the free trial. So if anybody has feedback on this, of course, we can make some adjustments. Alan added it to the link directly for this to the chat if you want to check that out. But I'll cruise through it really quickly. Basically, we started with the main benefit, and then information about hypergrow and hyperview. And Alan did this cool thing where you understand more, what each of these columns is telling you. And we added some images, or Alan added some images. And then here, the information, get a free 30-day trial. We won't take your credit card. And then after that, it's $1 an acre. So you can enter your information and submit it.
That's a nice page, Alan. That page came out nice.
Yeah, I had 2 questions.
Yeah.
One, if you'll scroll down to the bottom.
Yeah.
I noticed we've been doing this, and I just wanted to get people's input. We go get free 30-day trial. Mm-hmm. We don't capitalize the get. People okay with that? Like it? Don't like it?
Is that our style? I mean, if that's our style, that's fine. I'm more pick up on the last line, after your first 30 days, comma, it costs just $1 per acre. So that's upper lowers, right? So the first one is all lowers. That's our header line is all lowers, but then we go upper lowers on the tag lines or the body.
Is it possible? Is it
Sorry,
possible
Michael.
to look at this page as a whole, Alan, so we can just look at the grammar? Not that I don't trust you and Lauren, but I see a couple things I'd like to look at.
Yeah, definitely. Is this something that you should we do this now, or do you want to maybe take this offline and review it as a group? And
Yeah, not now. Like, let me just even if you send me a screenshot, Alan, so we can look at that. But between Kevin and I, we should just get another set of eyes on it, just for grammatical, oversight more than anything. And I want to know what the message is before we put it out as well. Not now, though.
definitely, I think that's a great idea. Making sure you're all aligned on that, and making sure that it really makes sense what you're delivering. But I think this is a good start. And what we're going to do is see, basically put measurement in place to see how many people come to the page and then fill out this information. Your landing page conversion rate on a free trial like this should be probably, I would say, minimum 7%. So 7 out of 10 people who see this page should convert. So we'll get a baseline there, and that's something I'll do offline, is show how to do this, how to install this tracking, so that you can review it later on if you want to do tracking on another page. But the idea for now is just to remember. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just had one other thing we should check.
Yeah.
Is, Alan, are we confident that price is correct? $1 an acre?
Oh, no, because I haven't met Jeff Toole since a week, so I didn't get a chance to ask him in the office. But we would have to confirm that with Jeff Toole.
Okay, yeah. And I sent him the page yesterday. I hadn't heard anything back from him, but I was trying to remember if the AgriLogic was just a buck an acre, or if it was, well, anyway, so we need to just clarify that as well.
Yeah. And there's a really cool website whenever I'm building a landing page, and Alan and I were on this page. I look at land-book.com, and this is a showcase of the best landing pages today. So it sort of shows what's working, what's hot design-wise. And I look at this and I see, oh, they have a lot of social proof. They're showing scarcity. They're saying you can only get this offer for this week, things like that. So I always pull up, 1 or 2, and then I compare it and make sure that what I'm offering is as clear and, concise, and that it has sort of similar landing page components to these. That's an idea as well. We use this one here to inspire us, the Wibbits one. Because it's simple and it shows the benefits right up front, and then these logos show credibility, and then at the end, kind of the more benefits, how it works, and then this call to action form right here was what we modeled off of, but we used the Jane style. So if you're
I think
ever
it's really good. I really like it. And I especially like the information pieces. I think that was the first thing I did when I went to the website. When I saw the page, I wanted to look at that. So I'm real happy with this.
Cool, great. Excellent. So yeah, we'll add that tracking, and you can also play with this page over the course of this week, and I'll film how I added the tracking. But for now, let's create these. Right now we have this one ad, and we want to create probably 2 more minimum, but ideally 4 more variations on this ad that are going to bring people to this AgriLogic free trial or this blog post, give them information, and really make them feel like they understand the value. So I'll just review this ad here, and we can look, that's mobile news feed, and this is what it will look like on desktop. And we wanted to put maybe one thing I think of automatically is maybe we have one variation. Well, we have to decide if it's okay to do the stock photo. But maybe we also, or we only have the real photo.
I think we use the stock photo on one, and then we use the other one on the other, and see. I mean, if you don't know what satellite imaging is, I don't know that you know that photo, right? Yeah. So, let's try the difference.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I think that's a really good A/B test. You know, that'll be our first one.
Okay, great. So do you like this one or this one?
This one, the second one.
Okay, sorry. This one or this one? So I'm just gonna do, I don't know. We may edit this later before we launch, but I'm just, for the sake of pure testing, I'm going to duplicate this ad so that all the rest of the information still is there. And I'm going to duplicate it into the original campaign instead of, somewhere completely different. So it shows this stock photo copy, and we're going to call this one the, is that how you spell satellite?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to take these away, or clear all, and then instead I'm going to add that other image. So we're down to 2 of 5 as soon as this goes.
Yeah. So the things you're going to film that you put onto the links, what's the value of those?
Film, sorry, can you ask maybe a little differently?
Yeah, so it was almost programming language. We watched you put it in last week really quickly. You said, okay, I'm going to add this and this. And it was some language, programming language you put into the Facebook ads.
Pixel or no?
Oh yeah, could it have been the pixel?
I'm not sure.
I think that was for conversion tracking.
Yeah.
The code that you showed last week, Lauren. To track conversions, you remember?
I think I remember.
So was that what you were are you gonna record that for us, or?
Yeah, so I'll record that.
Okay.
And are you interested in seeing a quick preview, or do you want to wait?
No, I was just, I just wanted to ask about that while that photo was loading. So, okay, yeah. So this is our second ad now.
Yep, so that's your second ad. So one thing to note is I'm not sure if Facebook will accept this ad because of this big text here, because they have a rule that says that less than 10% of the ad should be text. But it doesn't hurt to try, and then, if they reject this one ad variation, we could just zoom into 1 or 2 of these or 4 of the fields without the text. Or maybe you don't think the text matters. Do you have an immediate feel? Was that the right instinctual view that you would want to show?
Well, I think it's really valuable, especially because what it's saying, and it kind of brings some explanation to what you're viewing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then let's start with that ad, and we'll see what happens with Facebook. I just wanted to note that.
So where did
Alright.
our other ad go? Okay, it's over here on the left-hand column.
Okay, yeah, so this is the way that it is, this is our campaign here, which is the biggest sort of umbrella, and then you have an ad set. So this is going to be satellite, or like, so this ad set will probably go to, I'm going to rename it because we're going to send these to 3 different audiences. So is growers a good term?
Yep.
And California, or do you want to go US?
We're going to go all growers in California.
Okay, so, so we know that this is top of funnel. I would even say AgriLogic's free 30-day trial.
Yep.
And so everything for that free trial will go under there. We're going to send all growers California, and we're going to create these 5 ads under this ad set. And then once we have the 5, we're going to duplicate the same 5 ads, similar to how I did here. And we're going to have growers, grapes, almonds, pistachio, like that. And then we'll have a third one, which was the lookalike audience for Jane Logic.
Right.
And then we'll do that tracking, which I'm going to do, and we're going to set all of this live.
Sounds great.
Okay, great. So we have satellite imaging here. And then we have the stock photo. And shall we do another? Maybe a different angle?
A photo or different angle of copy?
I would even, it's up to you, but I would probably do a different angle on copy, maybe a little bit of a different hook.
Okay.
Just for ease of use, I'm going to duplicate this again. And we can sort of replace this information as we go. So I have Alan's sheet up. I'm going to see if there's other ads here that we maybe want to use. So here's one. Request a demo. Satellite imaging is 99% accurate compared to soil moisture sensors. Again, increase your farm profits, sign up for a 30-day trial. That's more bottom of funnel because we're asking them right out the gate. So I think maybe like something that aligns them belief-wise or lets them see how, what we have to offer on a value, from a value perspective.
So something like satellite imaging is the tool to get ahead of the competition. That's not quite it, but satellite imaging is a low-cost management tool that'll save you time and money. So a satellite imaging low-cost water management tool.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm thinking more abstract, like discover your crop like you've never known it before, discover, because irrigation, Richard, as we know, that's how we're connecting, that's how we're going to solve the problem.
Yeah, I think that's really good. What about see your crop like you've never seen it before through satellite imaging, right? This is a whole new look.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, something like that. And then we'll drive them towards irrigation being the primary solution for their issues.
See your crop like you've never seen before.
There you go.
Nice. So one thing that Facebook does is they allow you to add different options here. But so far the reporting of which one they show when and which exact combination, it's pretty poor. So I usually, if I want to know really good A/B testing, I just create a new ad variation.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if we reverse? So right now, see your crop like you've never seen before. What if we reverse that and put that at the top and satellite imaging to the bottom? See if that changes anything.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Jeff Toole's offering a free Yeti cooler to whoever gets the most hits on this.
Oh boy. I mean, this was honestly, Lauren, if you remember a few weeks ago when we started this was one of my first questions was, how does Facebook know amongst our ad campaign, how the order in which we want to deliver these messages based on the marketing funnel? That was kind of what I was wondering. And now I'm kind of seeing what you're saying, and you're saying it's poor. So that way, when we design the ads, we need to have some overlap where if they're not in perfect order, they still make sense.
Yeah. One thing is, once we get these tracking pixels installed, Facebook can see, so we can, when we build these audiences, we'll actually make sure, for example, hey, everyone who sees this ad will have not come to Jane in the last 90 days or 180 days or whatever. And then the next one, it's like, okay, they had to have come to Jane in the last 90 days. So yeah, it's really, it's cool because you're like really intentionally telling them a story. Okay, so let me make sure I captured this ad correctly. I know we're gonna switch them. Did you want to switch all of them or like switch it off?
In particular, I'd like to switch, and then you can try the different photos in them too.
Okay, great. So I'm doing see your crop as the description, and then you wanted to do the like that?
Yeah.
Let me see, let's get that to load. Or did you want to do it up here?
Up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, so these
ads, it'll be interesting to see what catches somebody's eye, top of page or bottom in bold, but.
Definitely, yeah. One thing that we've noticed is that this used to work really well if it was short, and now you can add 3 to 5 paragraphs, and people are reading that. So if you want to, or if we want to explain how, or really get into the benefit, a lot of those people will get into that with you. Do we want to go
like that too? We can test it, right?
Definitely, yeah. So right now we're mostly testing the 3 different audiences to find which audience is going to be more likely to be interested in us, because that's our lowest hanging fruit. And then in round 2 of rapid fire testing, we'll really test these hooks a lot more. We can create a bunch of variations. So yeah, just a note of like, right now, because we're doing $25 a day, we probably want to keep this down to like 5 to 7 variations at most.
So we have 3 now, so 2 to 4 more.
Yeah. So, okay, so see your crop like you've never seen before.
And can you go to the AgriLogix free trial page?
Yep.
You have it open there. What if we take like that first paragraph, get a weekly email delivered straight to your inbox with everything you need to know?
Yeah. Oh, I noticed. Oops, sorry. All right. So, and we can. So we'll add it here on this top. Get a weekly email delivered straight to your inbox with everything you need to know about your field water consumption. Do you do it ETC like that?
Yep.
All right. And we'll tell you exactly which parts of your field are improving or declining. how much water you need to replenish your field, and more.
Perfect.
And then, so one thing that tends to work well these days on Facebook is emojis. You can decide if you want to use them or not.
Do you have one with like cowboy hat and some hay or something?
So I just Google always the Facebook emoji list and see what we have available to us. There's a cowboy.
I mean, we got to try it. We might be shocked, but
Do we have like American Gothic, like with the farmer with the pitchfork, or no?
Oh,
and then we want to be sure to change up the photo to the other photo too.
Alan hooked me up with an emoji. There we go. Thanks, Alan.
No problem.
Let's see. And sometimes like you can do that. I know it's kind of, or sometimes what we do is do it like a bullet. So 30 days free, $1 per acre. What was it? 90%, 99% as accurate or something like that?
Yeah, that was a great.
I'm not liking these as much.
Sorry?
I'm not liking these as much.
All right.
Yeah.
And before we copy and paste anything off of that landing page, I'd really like to grammatically go through it.
Okay.
I know it's a little hindsight, but it's like, once again, if I haven't even looked at that, and I can tell you already, I'm seeing stuff that before we duplicate it, if we could just keep it generic, maybe now for the sake of training and for building these.
You don't like get a weekly email delivered straight to your inbox with everything you need to know about your field water consumption?
No, I'm not really. It's fine, but then we'll tell you exactly which parts of your field are improving or declining, how much water. I mean, if I'm guessing, Alan, you were just trying to fill space on this page, or did Jeff give you this, or someone give you this?
That's taken right off our PDF brochures.
Yeah, who created those? The guy from Hyperlogic. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to eliminate all those crossover tones from the what we have with these companies we buy, and I can just tell right away that's not something we wrote. It's not a big deal when it comes to one-liners, but if we're going to put like 2 or 3 paragraphs, Lauren, like you're saying, then I want to at least look at it and make sure the grammar's right.
Definitely. Okay. So, we'll add this as a placeholder now. We won't launch anything. And then maybe you can send, if you don't mind, some replacement text. Does that?
For sure.
Okay, cool. Great. And then a short headline. So that's going to be this big part here, the bold. Is there something, value?
I think we do. We need to, Richard and Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're shooting for this technology. We got satellite ads from Unity coming out. It should be, discover the future of irrigation management, or is something profound to get their attention as opposed to just a simple feature that it has. That's kind of what we're doing with Pulse right now, Richard, as you know, and it drives me crazy. It's like, how do you want to sell this? Well, it's got a big blue tank. So, I mean, I think we need to be a little bit more vague and a little more inspiring with these messages like that one.
We can try that one.
Great. All right. So imagery wise, I would recommend maybe and you don't have to do this, but it might be cool to do one of, Michael's photos of the, of an actual person in a field.
You're putting the human element. That's a good one. We should do that.
Okay.
I mean,
You have a photo you think that would be good?
Those ones I sent over, is that the one you're referring to, Laura?
Yeah. Or maybe you have something else you want to use? We could cruise around the site maybe. Where's your gallery?
Just go
photo library.
Under ag or landscape, and you'll see photo library right under resources.
Okay, great. What do you think about that? Or we could do a video.
We're trying to tie the human element into satellite imagery. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, well, I think that, especially if we're gonna go with a more aspirational ad, discover the future of irrigation management, kind of that kind of image of like someone who really has control, or they're, in the future, I don't know, or
I don't know that we're going to have anything. I mean, if I think it's going to be a stock image of like a kid pointing up at the sky with like a cornfield in the background or something like that, I don't know that I have anything like that, or we have it, but I mean, I could find relevant imagery for that, no problem.
Okay, yeah, I mean, definitely. And we can always try different variations. Should we leave it for now?
Yeah. So we did 3. So you did the 2 alternate versions, and then this one, if we could do this one the way it is, you want to do that, or
sure.
That would be 3, and then I can provide just grammatical copy to make sure everything's correct for all 5, and then I'll double check the imagery on these last 2 and get it over to you within 10 minutes of the end of the call.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Great. So let's see, should we do maybe 2 other variations?
Yeah, and I think if you go back to our photo gallery,
yeah,
I think we can find this first hay cutting. I mean, there's lots of photos in here that are going to grab people's attention.
Yeah, even like I think the onions are, I know that it doesn't exactly match, but like when I see things like that on my Facebook feed, it's really beautiful, I'm always a little bit like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, I think that these guys like, their shiny objects are things like tractors or.
Yeah.
As long as we don't run out of photos for the other ones that we're going to do, because I know the next task Professor Richard's going to give us is to create 80 of these. So these photos are going to go quick. So let's keep them, make sure they're close to relevant now. So when we really have to force hay bales to sell satellites, we really have to.
But
yeah.
look, one of the biggest water wasters out there today is alfalfa. Right? We know that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? They really don't want to do drip irrigation, but if they do some satellite monitoring, they'd save some water.
Yeah, I don't think we can really be too wrong here, especially because we're still pretty close what we third tier of the marketing, thing. So these are still pretty, I don't want to say ignorant, but it's pretty random people right now.
Let's grab that first hay cutting you went past now.
Okay, let's see. Where are we?
First column on the left. Just past it again. Ta-da.
Oh, here we go. Okay, great. And then I forgot to mention, this is a really cool tool. Taboola is, I don't know, when you're on the New York Times and you see those advertisements, they're usually pretty crazy. That's like, people are making $20 million with this thing, or here's how to get a 6-pack in 5 minutes. It's usually Taboola. It's an advertising network. I think you've used Outbrain, actually, right, for Jane?
Yeah.
So they have come out with a cool image testing tool where you can see what the latest trends are in terms of what images are attracting people. So for example, a person plus a person, you get a 45% higher click-through rate.
Do we have a cat driving a tractor?
Exactly. A koala, a platypus.
Yeah. A kangaroo hugging a tractor.
Yeah. So this I think is really crazy. And these are changing all the time. But I like to look there, and they also do, you know, the same for videos. So higher if there's a no illustration, and then you can do different titles. So the future of irrigation, and then, you know, you might say, and then, you know, I think this doesn't work great, but sometimes you can kind of figure out some cool things. This is just from their, like from their data. So it's imperfect, but it is interesting. You can sort of see what's trending. It's a good tool to refer to, and you can just narrow it down by, you know, US or whatever.
And that's a free service.
Yeah, it's totally free. So you can see right now, this photo is, of course, you know, what's trending.
Huh.
So sometimes I look at that for inspiration, but let's go back to these ads. We're going to replace, clear all these, and I'm going to add an image and upload. Let's see, in our downloads, we had first, hay cutting. And then we can, that should replace there. This is going to look, I think, really pretty once it loads. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Let's see if it. Another cool thing we can do here, if we, there it goes. All right, so that's what it's going to look like on a mobile phone. And then desktop. To me, I like that because it really like draws my eyes in to the ad. Something about those lines.
Yeah, between the cut hay and the clouds.
Yeah, yeah. And then another thing, I'm going to duplicate this and create a little video, just, you know, because I think that it's good to know how Facebook creates videos. All right, so here's the copy and turn into video. Their videos are okay. But one thing that I've noticed lately is the video inventory based on the, like, so people are engaging really a lot with video, but not a lot of advertisers have video. So there's a shortage in video content still, which means that if you upload videos, you're going to get a higher or cheaper click-through rate, or like, you know, cheaper ads, and you'll get shown more. So they just have some, you know, basic ones. And that's a little long here. Discover the future.
What about a full video like Michael has shot? Can we use any of those?
Definitely, that would be even better.
Do you have a video, Michael, that fits this concept?
Well, the technology video does for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, this would be a great way to get one of those out there.
Yeah, the technology one that's on the backdrop of our home page. Do you pull them from YouTube? Where do you pull them from?
YouTube. It was the Smart Irrigation Month video.
Which one? Or do you have the link for it on YouTube?
Right there, but we have it on YouTube too.
Okay, yeah. If you don't mind sending that YouTube over, we'll actually do that now.
Okay, one moment.
Can you send it right now, Alan?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, and then I'm gonna just name this YouTube video.
Yeah, I bet this looks awesome.
So that it's clear. And I'll change this one so it says, you know, a little more descriptive.
I do really like to see that crop like you've never seen it before, Michael.
Yeah.
It's perfect for satellite imaging.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some time to think about this now. So, Alan, you did your diligence a few weeks ago, so it all makes a little more sense now. It's kind of coming to fruition. Initially, I was a little confused, and now it makes sense.
Okay. The other thing, Alan, if you want to just, it's up to you. If you want to send me the link to the video, or if you have it raw somewhere, we can just, you can upload it and I can just add it from the library. It's totally up to you and what you prefer.
Oh, okay. I just sent you the link, but I can also send the video file if you want.
Oh, okay. Whatever you prefer. It looks like you already have some videos here. And did you send the link in the chat?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
The videos are really big, Lauren. As we produce videos for this medium, what are the ideal parameters as far as size, compression goes? Should we be, putting over?
Yeah, so let's see. I've noticed that, let's see, Facebook video, I would, trying to think, like Facebook documentation, video size or something like that. I'm just going to see if I could pull this up really quickly. Oh, that's going to be too technical.
Okay, Lauren, I just sent you the link so you can download the video from that link.
Oh, perfect. Great. Thanks.
No problem. On the website, we do not run it with the sound. So you might have to take off the audio.
Okay. So Facebook, actually, they automatically run the video without the sound, and then the user can turn it on. And you don't have any words in this video, right? It's just the music?
Oh, no. It's about the Smart Irrigation Month.
Oh, okay.
So we might have to take the audio off.
Okay. So one thing so here's the docs on Facebook video ad guide of 4 gigabytes max, min and max of the ratio, and they say the highest resolution possible. And then if you want, what we've noticed that a lot of times, if you have a video where someone's really talking, if you add that on the bottom of the screen, the closed caption text, it really, people will watch it without the sound on and read, whatever it is that you're doing. So
is this for the feed or is this for ads? Because 240-minute long video for an ad.
So yeah, you know, people used to say that you only want to do a, you know, max 15-second video or something like that. But right now, we're noticing that it's working really well to include like a whole webinar on a video, because you would pay maybe 5 cents, 20 cents for a video view that's 75 minutes or 45 minutes. And if the completion rate is high enough, even if they're watching 15 minutes of the webinar, you know, that's a really, Facebook loves that because they see it as high engagement on their platform. And also you just got 15 free minutes, you know, with your prospect. So that's something that's working. Not a lot of people are doing it, but it does work really well to have like a really long video in the beginning.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Richard, did we record your, have we ever recorded your presentation of water management as a business that you gave at Landscape Expo and the like?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think. Maybe I've got it somewhere. I just did a podcast on sustainable gardening on Friday, or just sustainable landscaping, and I did speak a lot about water management and smart controllers and that. So we could put the podcasts up, right?
Right.
Definitely.
I was just thinking of that presentation because it's specifically directed to contractors.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've already done blog content on, this is thinking about ET water ads, Lauren. And we've already done blog content about ET water, how it can, a hermit crab and the sort of like universal management of controllers, and that how we can create more business opportunities for you. So I think that those were things that were covered in your presentation, Richard. So so I was just wondering if that was available. So.
Yeah, shoot, we just did it last week, a week ago today. We should have recorded it, but
okay.
So yeah, this is a pretty good video, I think. I don't remember that it talks about Smart Irrigation Month in it. Are you sure it does, Alan?
Oh yeah, I played it.
Okay.
Michael made one video for Smart Irrigation Month, and one was just.
Yeah, I remember it was coming out, but I thought we made it more evergreen than that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's a really awesome video. And a lot of the times what we'll do is make the call to action at the end of the video more specific to the ad set. Or if you're repurposing a podcast for some reason, you know, you can cut the podcast part, so that you're only talking about the relevant part, and then you can add a recording, you know, kind of stitch things together so that it makes sense in this context. But learn more. I mean, you still have a call to action. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Right.
Great. So shall we tackle one more in the last 9 minutes, or is there something else you want to talk about? I know we're running out of time here soon.
Is there a review process of ads by Facebook now? Is it sort of similar to Google, 24 hours or anything, Lauren, or is it pretty immediate or real time, or?
So it definitely depends. A lot of times I'm seeing that ads will take maybe a half hour, but it can take up to 24 hours. If they're still sitting on my ad set, then I contact support. Most of the time, if you're trying to launch an ad, like, you know, during Black Friday, Facebook gets really backed up. It takes longer.
Sure.
But it should probably take around 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a few violations in the last 3 years on Facebook.
Okay.
And that is why it takes a day now for us.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry about that. But I think that has to do mostly with the cannabis.
Were we saying something about the election? What happened?
Yeah, it was mostly to do with like the groundwater posts or the cannabis posts that I tried to make. and they
Okay,
used to
okay, so yeah.
reject that.
Yeah. Alan got the dreaded subject line, "Get back in your box."
Is that what it said?
We don't like people who color outside the lines.
Wow. But you were speaking about that last week, Lauren, about the sensitivity on cannabis and that. Hemp.
Yeah. But one thing is that if it, sometimes what I'll do is I'll make an ad where I'm only going to spend $1. And then Facebook is like, it's going to be $1. Like, well,
Yeah.
it's not very many people are going to see that. And then I up the budget. So that's, yeah. I didn't tell you that.
Let's try to get one more done, okay?
All right, let's do it. So I'm going to copy this one with the video just because I think it's weird.
Yeah, let's see how many people look at that video. I think it'll be worthwhile.
Yep. And here we go. Now we can edit it again. I like the aspirational angle. I like that we're talking about the future. I'm trying to think if there's something, some sort of pain we could tap into or some deeply rooted fear.
Bankruptcy.
This other thing, one of our competitors that I showed you, Lauren, for agrologics is series imaging. The advantage that we have over them is that we don't need drones in the field, just like they do, or we don't need a plane, an airplane to fly in the field and take NDVI images because we have the satellite to do it for us.
Mm-hmm.
So the page that I just sent you, they speak about some advantages. So if it's possible to get those points up, that would be awesome as well. Yeah. So they are the agrologics competitor, and they use drones, not satellite imaging, but and they do NDVI as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So if we could do
And
it.
does that change the price point of their product or something, Alan?
Oh yeah, I think they're expensive.
Why does airplanes and drones matter?
Because they are expensive and they need a human being on the field at all times. Like satellite imaging is automated, right?
Okay.
The algorithm sends them,
Yes. Yeah. So that's reflected in the cost of what series would provide similar to agrologics. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
It provides the same NDVI image.
Or more expensive. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe more affordable than drones, something like that. I'm trying to think, maybe we can get into the details here in this text about, the affordability and that kind of thing. I'm trying to think of not a gross or sleazy way to tap into that bankruptcy fear that Richard mentioned.
Okay.
With the main hook, something, without saying, ethically saying, protect the future of your farm with the future, with the future of irrigation or something like that. Or, high yields year after year. So and then, have something to hand down to the next generation or, I don't know if any of this is inspiring or creating anything
Yeah,
useful.
I think you're striking a nerve when you talk about hand it down to the next generation. Make sure your investment's safe for the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure the investment in your farm is safe for the next generation.
I mean, there's a lot of news coverage about how farms have been in their families, hundreds of years, and now they're coming to the end of the line, right? They're not going to the next, they're not being handed down, or they're not being taken over by the next generation.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's for cost, Richard, or why part of the reasons that are going into the collapse of the family farm. I mean,
In California, because Sigma is going to take your water away.
Oh,
Alan, have him watch Goliath.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that yet, Kevin?
no, I have. Billy Bob.
Yeah, third season, all about what we're talking about here.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, I like that actually a lot.
I mean, we can think about that. I know it's 2:30 your time, and I definitely want to respect your time. Maybe it makes sense over the course of this week, I'll film this tracking code, and you can work on the verbiage of all of these ads in the landing page.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah. And I'd prefer not to do a direct comparison against drone imagery.
Okay.
Yeah, something about the positive of us. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or something, I don't know. But yeah, does that sound like a good plan? We'll kind of refine over the course of the week, and we'll go live.
Yeah. So the course of the week, Michael's going to get you some added stuff here in a little bit. And I sent Jeff an email on the pricing. I wanted to confirm that. Once we get those two things, I think we're ready to go live.
Okay, great. Then we'll be in touch via email. Does that sound like the best next step?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Perfect. Thank you all for your time. I know this took more weeks than we thought, but I think it's going to really pay off.
Yeah, I do too. I think this will be interesting to see how it works out.
Definitely. Cool.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yep.
I know.
Bye.